My never say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, osia dem yopo.
Memo bibiara kwaba eba PENDREAM TV. So we are new to the channel, no subscribe to the channel. Wa bell notification no wa share ma foforo ensa akabi. Na Ransford K of Radio Gold e de ensembi atodwa. Ya me person be kan ho. Na yakotie ensema Ransford e de todwa. Na ensembe ya Ransford K. said there are people in the NPP amanyoko no. Yeah, they are unbiased. Say omo who say omampani bi minister bi MPB, DCEB, and as a penny be a ejuma pa, regardless of the political party or one. Omo commending, Omo Bonabaso, Omo Cassa mo aquapa no quafo, to a unuma pa o yeneso, na everboa or my Ghana, na ajawo dimpa. Ransford K. said there are some group of people in the NPP among Yokono. Yeah, officially, they are commending President John Dramani Mahama for an outstanding performance in a year. The second coming year, course currently, we share the big push. We share a recruitment, what shall or into the security field. We share the resetting agenda. We share stress-free fees are introduced here. We share the reduction in fuel prices, at the stability in terms of the economy. Any other indications are so about President John Dramani Mahama Abaso say onyere ne ho na obo edwumapa. Enkofo ben and board President John Dramani Mahama. And as a weak group of MPPs and about President John Dramani Mahama Abason. Yentie and Sema, Ransford K. Ekaya. Now, Otto Atnesemson, Otto, and Sembi Emane, a road minister. Ya or Bono Abaso for the contribution or and the President John Dramani Mahama for the big push and affairs on the road project or Mashasia or Modi Hujuma. Ya was cited say. Roads Minister, one of the most successful ministers under this second coming of President John Dramani Mahama. And some way, and some who will be a Ransford K. edited. My person will come home. They are caught in seven entry.
Na Madam President Mahama say, you see, MPP phobia politically, omonya bias. I started commending Papa no. What am I saying? There are certain people woman who no crown beka. Ana ebi ho so a no kreno was oh we need a political talk. Enti okasem na ye koye nim no ne bosha ye wantimi ani so anane sem okan na akekere no a was we dey amanyosem ne ye. But wutimi emfa wonum asem enya amanyosem. Sense techerema nipa num asem ayoja. Sa techerema yi a edaya num a ema ye ho kwan me de kasa no. Ano nam chen krante ayase akiri ase anim. Ba cho wati ase. Na enetie me ye kanka ye ho about road traffic regulations. Now there is a law Ghana Highway Authority for the Yajumo Krum Hanum. Na ye na yabu yeni edi egusuo. Eti ebia after na presentation no. President John Dramani Mahama gonja tishe kronkron ebi kura na yansan kwankofa emra foforo bi anya den amfa ma. It's about yen enipa ye bu achechiri Ghana no ye be discipline. Ma menyi me watch nanto. Niaka Ghana ni se yen timamfo no and those in charge ebe di wo mu especially wo mu a omde mra eye adwuma krom ha niama brochire eye brochire ni se wo ya me papa wo ya me maame wo ya me nua na wudi oman ne bone a entity ne kire me se me hyew de o ese me timi yu ba mra me. There are too many laws in Ghana, but favoritism and tea. So we catch us say omana timu no emre nimu forget it. Nyasam hwe. So we catch us say omana timu no emre ni Ghana me say forget it. Wo de pe ho asem na nyasam hwe. Ja wo mra e okrom hanom. But akasa yebenya nkrofo a obani da ho na omdo oman no obetimi do oman no ayadwuma irrespective of nipa or committed that offense no. But in Ghana, oh me ofa say oh yemi nua obi kura fom no ofro bi say unni mpani bi a obetwitwa age me nya sa tie. Because of say all these years emra no enipa obetwa mamra na adwuma no nipa no achia mra no nti onim say eye doable yebetimi achia mra yebetimi bene the loss no ento be frɛ say kwasi manya asɛm na onni pani bi e wo soro ho menim say wo so sa course no utanya bi pa enti krom ha emra ne dɔɔso dodo na aka sɛ yɛbɛ hyɛ ho so na nya nkrɔfo a ɔmetimi ne emra no ayɛ adwuma e wo citizens ne so asa emra no bi susu wo honom a ehia amendments ɛsɛ sɛ amende ebia at that time yɛhyɛ mra no yɛdwene ho akɔ no ɛho implications no na yɛnim sɛ beduru hɔ internet sɛ emra no de sunsuan so bɔne bi ɛbrɛ ya we need to revisit the same law no na amende na yɛhwɛ ba bi ɛbɛboa no na yɛmfa nante ɛmɔ yɛ bra asa eti asɛmwe no ɛnyɛ den ɛnɛ me wɔyɛ kwan ne so owura governs Kwame Agbodza obi ɛbɛn na ɔnka kyerɛ ne sɛ wontie. One thing about Radio Good is that sɛ yɛkasa wɔ hanom na nipa ne mpo a yɛbɔ ne din no sɛ biga wontie a onye obi ma ne yɛ den ɛfrɛ no ka kyerɛ ne sɛ yɛabɔ odin wɔ ha etu da hɔ na pani bi afafo afro sɛ mbate sɛ wobɔ omdin na ɛba asɛm a ameka mfante kakra ɛba asɛm a eti Govins Kwame Agbodza Govins is going to be one of the successful ministers under John Mahama. Uniminientia. Tie me. Govins Kwame Agbodza is going to be one of the successful ministers under John Mahama part 2 or second coming. There is a deliberate effort or decision by this government to make sure say obey your kwine. And no. President Mahama kwa Ocha kwine N1 no. A deliberate decision by the government led by John Mahama. And whoever a minister no, you be who say oh yeah juma. And that minister will be a successful minister because abandoning is what you say. As I said, Ghana kwine me yadudu na your economy no emu etimitre. And Agbodza kwa woko ba oba no sabi enye se wono wakopa sika bi so de be contractors enye Agbodza na akoba da bi ene o se wo force se yenya kwan yo eye deliberate by this government said this is the path or this is the way you pursue your call. And whoever and now oil road and highways minister no that minister after 4 years no obechi ni din na nebemi hu say minister no after say na ban e take deliberate decision no nebi hu minister say oye adwuma ne ye enema kitenkiti na agency say da na se so omso be discipline na external force bia invade honum emedi se hunu et those issues no So we sector minister, we road minister. Not say one to me and tackle issues, no. Not that at the problem bar. Now you're weak leader. Now you're weak. And one more by no so. And you're 2 votes. Minister be successful because a ban of deliberate policy so be upgrade your rules, no. Nyame who say minister so aya djuma no aya agencies and the roads and highways discipline beko ho asa I don't know so temasia eti Governors Kwame Agboja is going to be one of the successful ministers under John Mahama's second coming because of deliberate policy by this government. Say yebe ya kwan yebe si adan yebe tre economy ni mu no aya ban no policy a wa shada no ode ato say meye saade we nothing more nothing less. Manachi ade ba ko bi Omampani John Mahama asemu a oka se esese road minister hwe na budgeting sensem na de ade from next year kono the required weight before you kwan so no there is an agency I refer as a load I share GHA ase Ghana Highway Authority asem na make no anya port there GPHA Ghana Port and Harbour Authority. I'm talking about GHA Ghana Highway for asem na make Aura Governors Kwame Agboja and a hono. The attorney say agency for an azulot and a regulatory a cross country cars akasia I for goose no I don't know how to put them. But they be ami kwebeba. What's that? Those heavy trucks na a load niama near efi ama hodo so eba Ghana near air transit etwamu akono. There is an agency called Azulot and the Ghana Highway Authority. And so Azulot no a Ghana Highway pe and em rashom say omo manage. Story I mean ye. This is not the first time I mean story we ewa fi we say mo. But me kan kwa kusi asem bi so. Enti Azulot stations no yekita more than 20 of them our Ghana and I'm told some ba ko pe na nya adwuma. Now ko Ghana Highway Authority that agency e fa no Azulot no womu kita pani a odoma no a wono na o manage stations ni nyina enti eban recruitment ni eso ye adwuma wa ha akom aso ye bo a ebia aplawodi yi ananzima fodi yi womu na omhwe e manage e ba chwa tiase but sa adwuma ni nyina no womu ye edema GHA so e Ghana. Na de etiane se mame kan no mabura free seni o mampani ekaye no Azulot station na ehye under GHH no enye money making venture for Ghana, but Azulot stations no in the wisdom of M24 a drafted that act no the battle for act no to never to nche kakra mame what we share say asama e mampani John Mahama eko western no work no eno konko regulator e make sure say the right weight I share him say 70 tons 80 tons 90 tons of goods our trucks akasia ne fa no and no pedo betimi afa so say uduru ho na oburu so a yo bibi afa no penalty utua no wasan ayi so one more time be say shed off eti obe shed of the goose now this how goose no am another track for but in Ghana enye sade ekono entomo ya na so ya define abanti o ya define no evan saying 5,000 na maximum 5,000 But in event, Lord in Baburosono, and Marani say, South 5,000, no, Yamaho Makuma 4, it be 20,000 and for mount. Alaska bet to me, I highlighted Babia yellow one. Me patch up Facebook. Where LI 2180 Road Traffic Regulations 2012. The same road chroma, bra Facebook. Yeah, there are two screens so. Emra o chroma. Emra chroma. Lost wahapa. Eti yanshadi. I want to read from the screen. Eti okay, I think say no. LI 2180 no. The batch 2012 no. Yansha point number 6. Or say in the event that goods which are overloaded are not offloaded. In the event that goods which are overloaded are not offloaded, the fees for carrying the load further will be 4 times the corresponding fee for the overload, unless a special permit is produced. Let me take it again. In the event that goods which are overloaded are not offloaded, no opportunity say, a kokoba say, trucks akesia me come wansemi, wafa enyama na abroso, na kodu point bi, na esese wo yiso, na wo anyiso a. The fees for carrying that load further will be 4 times the corresponding fee. For instance, it is a young funny say your certain tonnage as I said, what the fuck one so. Ebi aburo 5 tons, 20 tons, 100 tons. Ebi has 100 tons, so no, and 30 tons, so no. You charge you 5,000. Example, I'm dekan. The law is saying that Sakoba say 1 year shed off, and that's one offload it and yamana free swa. As I say, Yamautia says Sikana Yajuno and Prema Kumako 9. That is the corresponding fee. Ebrofo. The fees for carrying the load further will be 4 times the corresponding fee for the overload, unless a special permit it is produced. Ubetia sasikano. And ebia nabia kwa to me cry tabia. Emma wo. And shall say to your sasikano. Na me establish bibi. Na ya bowra kumase. Na di nkomo bi ohonom. Enti sene we se ni nyina na ekro no. Ayemra LI 2180. A legal instrument. I Ghana mra. Road traffic for top ne bra. For full document in the tour. I think sir Maria Honomono. Etemra ayashisha yajia to mukruma. Enya weka BOGH and a shisha samra no. Road Traffic Regulations 2012 LI 2180. Where page 65. Ye 2 million and ya Mr. President, Emra we say no honum. What I want us to do is that Ebia Sabiga Samra we no jebetimi amende. Sa in a event obi overloading niema. I'll say offloading no. Yanyin 4 times the corresponding fee no. Sa corresponding fee yanyin yanyin free honum. Sa overloadia and niema no omane nye kipi. And we need enkrofua one by discipline to enforce this law. Out the various points, you know, the various stations. Mami Kanza. Okay. near Tianisa, ye Papa John Mahama, aka sembi ede afa ye kwantempon ho. Na mepese linka mobo ma me ni edi kan no. Sameka say enko be 3 minutes wo ho. Okay, we other boy bojade no. Me Papa Mahama de no. Okay, ma me ha de. Okay, Papa Mahama de ni. Aha. On zero me phone na. Okay, no. Ma me mo we see no mo ha de. Ma me set it tone no. Ana e honom. Okay, e honom de afatum na president set it tone no. Owia na ye de atoaso. Na okay, oye free then you let me know. Na yanku enem. Okay, so the tie nie yanku enem.
The roads in 3 to 5 years. We've seen new roads that are built, and once these trucks that are overloaded pass on them, within 3 to 5 years, the road is finished. Recently, Burkina Faso have implemented a new weight regulation. And so your trailer must not be longer than a certain length. It must not be wider than a certain length. And do you know what is happening? Trucks load from Takrady and from Tema and overload. When they get to Burkina Faso border, they cannot enter because of the regulation the Burkinabes have introduced. So they bring 3 trucks from Burkina Faso and offload 1 truck into 3 trucks before they can enter Burkina Faso. There are trucks in this country that load 120 tons when the maximum load is supposed to be 50 tons. There is no road you can construct that will stand 20 tons per truck. And so I've told the roads minister, and it's going to be announced firmly in the budget, we'll consult the drivers union, the transporters. We must implement weight restrictions so that the roads that we build can last. And so next year, we're going to introduce strict weight limitations so that these investments that we're making in our road sector would last for a lifetime. We are not going to waste taxpayers' money repairing these roads only for people who want to make as much money as possible to load 120 tons on a road and destroy that road within a short time. And so I'm just sending a signal. We're going to engage the stakeholders in the sector in order that we enforce the weight limits for our trucks so that they don't overload and destroy our roads.
Okay. President John Dramani Mahama Asetitono for our takeoff. We editorial version of the show. You have 2 hours to end the show. Afraid I'm going to start here.
Dedi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.